Hello peeps and welcome to Sundays with Sparky. How's it going? How is it going, my friends? It is Sunday again. We didn't have one last week because I was in Bloodstock, hence the Bloodstock t-shirt. Very cool. So yeah, that was cool. I'm going to put out my video tomorrow. It's quite a long one though. I was going to do like separate videos for the 3 days of bands, but I was like, do you know what? I might just do one mega big video of the whole weekend. So that'll be going up tomorrow because there's no podcast tomorrow. Trying to get everyone together at the same time was quite tricky this week. Grayson's off and about doing stuff, and obviously we've got the time zone difference with Vin as well. So we did try and organise something, but it just wasn't gonna work. So there's no Hearthstone podcast this week. There wasn't a video on Monday because I was on my way home from Bloodstock, so I didn't get a chance to upload anything then. But on Wednesday we had the very first episode of the super secret GTA project that I've been kind of talking about on and off for weeks. The first episode finally came out of the super awesome GTA 5 scavenger hunt thing, and it's taken hours of my life trying to get that finally edited and stuff. So I've edited obviously the first one is up, available to watch. I've edited the next 2 videos, so there's still some footage I still need to go through, but all the hard work for that is done now as far as editing is concerned. I've got all the clips there, I've got them in a rough order, so it's literally just a case of putting in some music, putting in some overlays, stuff like that, and fine-tuning all the clips and stuff like that. So all the hard work on that is done, which is really good. Really good. So those will be coming out over the next few weeks, so keep your eyes peeled for that. If you wouldn't mind watching those or just giving them a thumbs up, because as I say, I did put a lot of time and effort into trying to get those done, and I think they're pretty entertaining. I think they're pretty fun. So if you haven't seen it already, go and give that a watch. And then Friday we had the Demon Zoo big deck player. That was pretty fun warlock deck if you're into that sort of thing. It's going to be a bit tricky trying to find decent decks over the next couple of weeks because the expansion is literally around the corner. It's going to be out this month. We haven't got an exact date yet, but I think it's probably going to be towards the end of the month. I'm guessing around the 24th, which I think is a Monday. I think it'll probably be that week that it comes out, so we've only got like another week or so before it's likely to be released. So whether I'll be able to find a decent deck for you next Friday for next Friday, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Hopefully there'll be something I can do, but we shall have to wait and see, I guess, and just see what happens. So that's that. So movies, I'm going to try and do this quite quickly because there's been quite a few movies, because it's been over the course of like 2 weeks, and I don't want this video to go on forever and ever and ever. So what's that one? Okay, so the first one I'm going to talk about is there we go. Oh, still getting reflections. Oh well, whatever. The first one is called The Big Year. It's got Jack Black, Steve Martin and Owen Wilson in it, and it's about 3 guys who try and outdo each other in bird watching, basically. And they call it a big year when you go all year from 1st of January to the 31st of December, and you have to try and see as many different species of bird as you can, and the person with the highest total wins, basically. And you kind of get prestige and like fame and fortune. Well, maybe not fortune, but you know, that kind of, if you're into birds, then you know that's the thing to try and do. And it's nice film. It's quite a nice film. It's quite funny in places. It's quite heartwarming in places. It's nice to see Steve Martin doing something that's not completely awful for a change, which is good. So yeah, if you are a fan of Jack Black, Owen Wilson, Steve Martin, or any of those, then maybe pick it up. I picked that up for like £3. There was Southpaw with Jake Gyllenhaal. When I went to see that at the cinema, I went in the evening. I normally go during the day, and it was absolutely packed out, completely rammed. We could only get seats right down the front. So I was like this, trying to watch that, because it was just, there was just so many people there, which is good because it was an awesome film. Really, really good. Really strong performance from Jake Gyllenhaal. If you don't like boxing movies, you probably won't enjoy this one because there is a lot of boxing. And I think Jake Gyllenhaal spends most of his time looking beaten up in the movie. So if you don't really like that sort of thing, you might want to avoid it. But the film itself is not really about. It's not really necessarily about the boxing itself. It's about a man who had everything and then loses everything, and his slow and gradual kind of climb to try and reclaim some of what he had. It's really good, and to say, Jake Gyllenhaal's performance was fantastic. And if you don't mind boxing movies, then by all means give it a shot because it is fantastic. Next film, Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. If you like the Mission Impossible films that have come before it, like Ghost Protocol and that other one that I can't remember the name of, then you'll probably enjoy this one because it's not that dissimilar, really. It's just what you'd expect from a Mission Impossible movie. Simon Pegg has a bit more screen time. Jeremy Renner has a bit more screen time, which is pretty cool. So, you know, it's good, and I think they're already writing or shooting or doing something for the next one, which is just completely crazy to me, but whatever. It's Tom Cruise, so you know, you kind of expect a little bit of crazy. So yeah, if you like any of the previous Mission Impossible films, then you're probably going to like this one. I thought it was pretty good. I think Ghost Protocol is still one of my favourite ones of the series that they've done, but I think this one is like a close second to that. What else did I see? Oh, Fantastic Four. It's not fantastic. It's probably the worst film I've seen this year. In fact, it's probably one of the worst films I've seen in a long, long time. Do yourself a favour, don't see it. Save your money, go and watch something else, or buy something else, or save it. Save the money for a rainy day. I'm not even going to go and see Pixels because I know that's going to be terrible. But I wanted to give Fantastic Four benefit of the doubt. I was like, no, the trailer makes it look like it could be quite interesting. I'm interested to see where they go with it. It could be okay. No, it's not. It's not okay. Not okay. They've changed the story hugely from the comic books and the films that had Chris Evans and Jessica Alba in it. So the origin story is completely changed, yet they don't really explain any of it, which is just stupid. Susan Storm has been adopted and was originally born in Kosovo, apparently, but you don't find out why or how they got together or any of that. It's just kind of mentioned. So that's quite a big deal. Like, why wouldn't you? You don't really find out much about Johnny Storm. Apparently, he's really good at science, but you don't know why or where. Or the best part of the movie was the stuff right at the beginning where they're focused on Reed Richards as a young kid doing experiments in his garage. That was the best part of the movie. You hardly see them use any of their powers until right at the end. Doctor Doom was just awful. They just completely changed the look and powers that he had. It was just basically, I'm going to stare at you and then your head's going to blow up. I was like, what? That's what? And then there was like a scene out of Terminator where, you know, if you've seen Terminator, the scene where he goes to the police station and literally just blows the whole place up and kills everyone in search for Sarah Connor. Doctor Doom has like a scene like that, and then it all kind of climaxes like really quickly, like before they really had a chance. It's like it seemed to take ages and ages and ages for anything to really happen, and then when it did, it finished. It's like, what? Awful. If you go onto Rotten Tomatoes for the rating, and I like using Rotten Tomatoes for ratings. I don't normally care about ratings, but Rotten Tomatoes is pretty good because it's usually voted for by people that have actually gone out and seen the movie, rather than some critic that works for a newspaper that says, oh, this film is great because 20th Century Fox has given me lots of money to say so. It's not like that. So Rotten Tomatoes gave the original Fantastic Four with Jessica Alba, Chris Evans, 27%, because it wasn't great. It wasn't a great movie at all. But the thing that it was kind of fun. It was kind of fun, and it didn't really take itself too seriously. This one takes itself really seriously and isn't fun. And it got like a 9%. It's just like, how could you mess this up? How could you mess this up? You've got some fantastic characters. You've got access to all this cool special effects, and yet you've messed it up completely. It was awful. Do yourself a favor. Don't ever watch Fantastic Four unless it's like on TV and you've got literally nothing better to do with your life at the time. Do not pay money to go and see this film because it is not worth it. Again, keep your money, buy a puppy or something. I don't know. Just use that money that you were going to spend going to the cinema to see Fantastic Four to go and see something else, or save it and go and see something when something good comes out. But yeah, avoid it with all costs. Do not even. They've spent so much money on that film, it's ridiculous. And I'm hoping that if it does really terribly, that they won't make any more. Or if they do, because they've still got the license, if they do, maybe they'll make one that's going to actually be good. Anyway, I think I've kind of got my point across about that film now. I'm going to hopefully go and see absolutely anything this week. With Simon Pegg and some of the cast of Monty Python, because that looks really funny. And I'm kind of interested to see Man from U.N.C.L.E., but I'm not really that worried. If I get a chance to see it, then I will. But if not, then not that bothered. Don't go and see Fantastic Four. Do go and see Southpaw. There you go. That's what you can take from this. So I'm going to go, because this has already gone on for far too long, because I've just basically said Fantastic Four is rubbish for the last 10 minutes. So I'm going to go edit this, and I will see you next week. We'll have some more talking about games and movies and other things. And if you can, go and watch that GTA video, because as I say, I put a lot of time and effort into making it, and I'd really appreciate it if you could go and watch it and give me some feedback, because it took a long time to do. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you next week on Sundays with Sparky. Goodbye. With the wibbly hands. I don't know, I do that every week and I have no idea why. It's just one of those things that I do, I suppose. Okay, I'm gonna go now.